What's up, YouTube? Today's topic is, did FREAKNIK make Atlanta into the nastiest place on earth? Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Okay, so FREAKNIK started out as a picnic for the black colleges in Atlanta. And that would be the black colleges in the Atlanta University Center, or the AUC, or whatever you want to call it. Those colleges consist of Marsh Brown College, which is the college that I went to, Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse, and Spelman. And again, it started out as just a picnic in Grant Park. Grant Park is the park that's connected to Zoo Atlanta. So that's what it started out as. And then, of course, by having fraternities and sororities, they would start to tell their friends and their, fraternity brothers and the sorority sisters, like, hey, we got this picnic that goes on, y'all need to come down. And then, the neighboring, states, like, we got Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, stuff like that. Those schools started coming, like FAMU, Alabama State, Alabama A&M. Now, if I'm not mistaken, FREAKNIK, I think the first picnic might have been around 88 or 89. Now, during that time, I was only like 10 years old. So, of course, I had no affiliation with FREAKNIK during that time. The first FREAKNIK that I ever actually attended was in 1994. Now, I was in 10th grade. My mom and dad didn't know that I was going, but a friend of mine, he had a car. So I just hopped in the car with him and we just rode down. But like I say, FREAKNIK started off in that park, at Grant Park. But then after that, what happened was the hood got wind of it. Once the hood got wind of it, then it, boom, it just, it birthed a whole new situation, and then it birthed into FREAKNIK. It wasn't called FREAKNIK when it first started. It was just like a picnic in the park. You know what I mean? But from there, what started to happen was, Atlanta took on this mystique of, during these 3 or 4 days, you come to Atlanta and there's gonna be endless parties and sex everywhere. And it was, I can remember in 94, well, first off, let's get into the fact of what FREAKNIK was really all about. FREAKNIK was about finding traffic. Now, in 94, I was about, 15, I would say? Yeah, I was about 15. So I wasn't going to no nightclubs or nothing like that, but it was about you and your friends getting in the car and finding traffic, where you just gonna get into this big ass traffic jam. And while you're in this traffic jam, what happens is women are jumping out of the cars. Obviously a lot of these women were probably older than us, but just for us to be able to sit there and actually see this shit going on was a thrill, you know what I mean? So, you would find traffic, and that could be anywhere. Peachtree Street, that's a famous street that's downtown Atlanta. But then you had the neighboring areas like Decatur or East Point, places like that, where you would just drive to the mall. You could drive to South DeKalb Mall, which is a mall in Decatur off of Candler Road. You can drive, you could drive to that mall, and literally on a normal day, depending on where you are, it might take 15 minutes to get, to the mall. But on this day, it may take you an hour just to even get to the exit, to get to the parking lot. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how that was. And then, you would find the traffic, and, the women were, oh my God, like jumping out of the cars, pulling their pants down, taking naked pictures. Like I can remember one time, I don't really remember what year. Like I say, 94 was the first year that I really got involved, based on, the other stuff that we had heard from years before. But 95 and 96 was really the last official FREAKNIK, and that was my freshman year of college. So we definitely was active, you know what I'm saying? We definitely was active. But I think during that time, that's when Bill Campbell had put a lot of restraints, on the whole FREAKNIK thing. And it actually started 96 because that's when the Olympics came. And that was the year where I remember specifically, you could tell that the momentum was starting to die down from what FREAKNIK had been in previous years, So it was like he started to block off certain areas where you couldn't get the traffic going because they were building up for the Olympics, you know what I mean? So they started to really crack down on a lot of the traffic, and it would be like, okay, well, you coming this way, we're gonna block this street. And it was more so just to, instead of having traffic on multiple streets, let's try to, downsize this thing where we only have traffic on this particular street, and then we can just, try to, get that together right there. But yeah, like I can remember times where you would be passing by a car because on the expressway sometimes the expressway would be so packed you had to get out and walk. Like you could literally leave your car on the expressway and just walk from car to car looking for girls. I can remember times where I was walking and you could look in a car and somebody would be having sex right there in the car, or somebody got their car door open and it's a dude fucking a chick from the back, or two chicks eating each other out, like right here in the middle of I-20 East, you know what I'm saying? Or 20 West, probably 20 West because you want to head into the city, you know what I mean? And I think that a lot of that is what made Atlanta into what we are now. Like Atlanta is a nasty town. Like I know I got sucked into all the nastiness. Like if you go back and look at a lot of my videos, you know, I talk about some of the things that I had ended up getting myself involved in, from, you know, going to swinger clubs and swinger parties. You know, that's just part of the Atlanta culture. But I think that with that comes, now we are the #1 AIDS fucking place to catch it in the world. Like we got the highest rate of HIV and AIDS, which that ain't something to be proud of, you know what I mean? Fortunately, I don't have that. I've only met one person, well, known one person that died, well, two people. I know two people that have died that I knew personally from AIDS. One guy, he was going over, really, he didn't catch it here in Atlanta. He was going over to like Brazil or some shit, fucking bitches raw and, you know, coming back home, you know what I mean? So, and there's one other guy that I knew when I was younger. He was a friend of our family, you know, he died from AIDS, you know what I'm saying? But he was a guy that my mom used to work with. He died from it. But I don't really see it, you know, in front of me. Like, you know, I personally have never had any diseases or anything like that because I do get tested. But I can see where the FREAKNIK thing, or the FREAKNIK phenomenon, and the reason why I'm even talking about this is because they're supposed to be trying to bring back FREAKNIK some kind of way. I don't think you can ever duplicate what that was. And, you know, I think that FREAKNIK, along with the Olympics too, I think that FREAKNIK opened our city up to the nastiness that we're known for now. Like we are really known for being a sexual town, you know, and I think a lot of people come here with that expectation of, you know, because this is Atlanta and we're known for FREAKNIK and known for the strip clubs and, you know, all that kind of shit. I think people come here with that expectation. Like I remember a few weeks ago, this lady was talking about how she came here in hopes to, you know, have all kind of, you know, just derogatory shit, you know, just all kind of pornographic experiences. And she got here and was like, damn, you know, it ain't really like that. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but everybody ain't that way. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of things that I ended up getting involved in sexually, you know, with the swinging and, you know, strip clubs and shit like that, I think it all came from living during that time or growing up during that FREAKNIK era and seeing the promiscuity of a lot of people. Like I can remember, like, just, I had pictures in a book at my mom and dad's house. I cannot find that shit now. I wish I could. But like literally me and my cousin, we were over near the AU Center and we was driving and we got into like a little caravan of other cars, and a guy that we didn't even know, he was like, hey bro, follow us. We got some chicks, you know what I'm saying? Follow us. We pull up around a corner and literally we hit a little back street. These chicks get out the car, getting naked, and we fucking these chicks like in the alley almost, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like 17 at the time, you know? So seeing that, and I remember times of, you know, even outside of FREAKNIK, just once the city got exposed to all that, I can remember times of driving to college as a freshman and see a chick at the MARTA bus stop. You know, the MARTA bus is our public transit system. Seeing a chick at the MARTA bus stop and say, hey, what you doing? She like, oh, I'm getting ready to drive downtown. And you say, well, shit, I'm getting ready to drive down too. You want to just ride with me? They'll hop in the car. And 9 times out of 10, that chick might be with you for the rest of the day, depending on what's going on. You know, I can remember times where it was like, really meet a chick that day. And, you know, everybody, you know, knows about one night stands, but I'm talking about, no, I'm talking about meeting a chick as you're driving by. She doesn't know you from Adam, and you driving by and you pick her up from the fucking bus stop, go get a blunt from the store, and now you fucking this chick within 30 minutes to an hour, and she kick it with you all day. You know what I mean? And I know it's still like that now, but, you know, I'm kind of out of that, so I don't really, you know, get into that these days. But, you know, things like that still happen. But again, Freaknik to me is what opened us up for what we're going through now. You know, it's a lot of memories that, you know, I guess people from that time would have that would make you smile, you know. And, you know, as you see, I'm grinning now just thinking about it. But then looking forward, well, you know, actually looking at present day, and it's like, damn, like, that's what started our city to take on that nasty identity that we have now. Now, I know this doesn't have anything to do with the actual topic, but also we are the #1 gay black community. We are the #1, I think we're like the gay black capital of the world as well. Now, I don't personally think that Freaknik brought that aspect. I tell people all the time, I can remember as a kid, you didn't really see a lot of gay activity in Atlanta. Like now it's prominent. Like you damn near gotta just be cool with the shit. It's like, you know, they here, you know, and this is where a lot of the gay people, this is where they migrate to. They migrate to Atlanta, you know, and it's more accepted down here. And as I get older, I'm starting to, it's not me accepting it, but it's just more so me saying, hey, you know, if that's what you do, bro, that's what you do. Like, I'm not gonna get out here in the street and march against you and rally against it, you know, but that's just what it is. But I've told people before, Freaknik, along with the Olympics in '96 opened our city up to a lot of shit too. I don't want to say that the Olympics opened up our city to homosexuality, because obviously it was always here. It's always been around, you know, just throughout time. But it wasn't as out as it is now. Like, they have a whole little district in Atlanta now. Like, I was driving a month or two ago. I was driving and there was like a rainbow traffic stop. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a rainbow traffic stop. Like on the ground, it was rainbow. You know what I mean? It was rainbow colors. And over near, I think that's near Kirkwood, if I ain't mistaken. I think that's where I saw it at. I saw just like a rainbow sign and shit. No disrespect to Kirkwood, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with them, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with people from Kirkwood, you know? But yeah, you know, like, I always say I think that the Olympics opened us up to just a whole nother type of, you know, aspect. Because a lot of people, you know, they would come down, you know, a lot of people come to Atlanta and they never leave. Like, that's the crazy shit. A lot of people come to Atlanta and they get here and it's like they just never leave. They like, shit, I love it down here, motherfucker, I ain't going home, you know? And Atlanta will suck you into some terrible, you know, lifestyles. You know, I know girls that came here with hopes and dreams of, you know, I'm gonna come down to Atlanta, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, because the job market is booming in Atlanta because there's so many people here, so many businesses here. But the nightlife of Atlanta can drain you. You know, me being from here, it's like when you get tired of the nightlife, you just go home. You know what I'm saying? But some of these people, they come down here and they get so sucked into it where it's like, oh shit, next thing you know, bitch, you stripping. Next thing you know, you a swinger. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you prostituting down here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't never know who you're gonna meet. And I think we get a bad rap. And I think we get a bad rap a lot of times because a lot of people are not from here. A lot of people bring the dirt that they had from somewhere else, that they were already a dirty ass person. They bring that dirt here, and then it's like they are, you know, we damn near adopt their dirtiness. You know what I mean? So I think we as Atlanta natives, like myself, I think we get a bad rap, you know. But it's like, I don't know, you know, it's a harsh reality when you get here. You know, we got every club, any kind of club you can think of, we got it. any vice that you have, we can definitely cultivate that shit. If you got a gambling vice, we don't even have casinos, but your ass can gamble as much as you want to. If you have a sexual vice, an alcohol vice, there's a liquor store and a church on every corner in Atlanta. So if you want some Lord, well, you know, excuse me, if you want some religion and get fucked up, you can get both of them. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of swinger clubs in Atlanta. We got Trapeze, we have the Loft, and I think it's one more, but I've never been to that one. I've been to both of those. We had one back in the day called Club Venus. That was like the first swinger club I ever went to. You can go and check out another video on my playlist. I mean, just on my, you know, my list of videos about my first swinging experience. So I think it's called Swinging Atlanta. I'm not sure. But yeah, you know, I think Freaknik definitely opened us up. But, you know, living during that time, I can say that I had a false sense of reality for what women really were because of the stuff that I saw. You know, I saw women, you know, doing all this nasty shit, you know, just out anywhere, to the point where it was like, I used to kind of look at it like, shit, all women supposed to be like that, until I grew up and I figured out that, nah, it's just, you know, you got these kind of women, you got these kind of women. I can remember, you know, a funny story from Freaknik. Me and my cousin, and it always used to be me, him, and one of my partners. We used to always be the ones that was, you know, going to Freaknik together. I remember one time we was at Greenbrier Mall. Anybody from Atlanta that's watching this video, you definitely know where Greenbrier Mall is. There was a Burger King across the street from it. I think that was the Burger King. I think it's still there, but I'm trying to think if we was in that Burger King parking lot or if we was in that gas station parking lot. I think we was in that gas station parking lot. But anyway, so we saw a bunch of guys like all crowded around one car. And they was like, you know, hey, you know, and so we know shit, you know, we run over there like, nigga, what's going on over here? You know what's happening over here. So we get over there and they like, man, them girls in the car, boy, they showing tits and ass, boy, they showing it all. They letting everybody take pictures and niggas, you know. So we got them, you know, we fighting through the crowd, shit, nigga, let's get up in here. It's one of our female cousins, man, like, for real. Like, I talk about that shit to this day. Every time I see her, I definitely keep her name to myself. But I always be like, man, yo ass, I cannot believe. You know, and this was in the 90s, man. This was like 95, 96 or something like that. I think it was like 95 when that shit happened. Literally, it was one of our female cousins. She was in the car showing tits and ass. And unfortunately, by the time I realized it was her, I hadn't seen her tits and ass. And I'm still scarred from that shit. I'm like, damn, like, you know. But, you know, yeah, it was like, that's how it was, you know. I don't know, you know, again, a lot of great memories from Freaknik, but I see where it took us, you know. Like when I meet people and I say, yeah, I'm from Atlanta, like especially if I meet women, even the saddest part is even though I'm in Atlanta, you know, it's hard to meet somebody from Atlanta in Atlanta. You know, ain't that crazy? Like now I can take you to a side of town or different hoods where damn near everybody is from Atlanta, but a lot of people say they very seldom meet a person from Atlanta in Atlanta, you know. So when I meet people, whether I'm at home or out somewhere, when they say, so where you from? I say, I'm from Atlanta. They be like, oh shit. Especially if it's a woman, like she like, oh, I know you this, I know you that. And it's like, damn, I look cross-eyed on that motherfucker if I'm looking at the camera, but I ain't cross-eyed, y'all. It's the way I'm looking at the camera. But anyway, yeah, it's crazy. Like, they automatically judge you. First thing they think, though, when you say you're from Atlanta, a lot of women, first thing they think is, oh, you ain't on the down low, is you? And it's like, down low? Like, talking about the song by R. Kelly? That's what I be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't nowhere near thinking about no gay shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's another thing that we got. We got a lot of guys that's bisexual, but they doing it on the down low. I don't respect that. I respect you more if a man go ahead and just say, hey, you know, you like men and women, or you like men. I respect you more if you do that versus, you know, that behind the back shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really secretly like men, but, you know, in the forefront, you want to act like, you know, oh, you know, nah, I'm strictly women. Like, I ain't really with that shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? If you gay, my nigga, or if you like to swing both ways, whatever you like to do, my nigga, just tell that shit. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't like men, but I'm at that point where I can't really judge niggas no more now, because it's like, it's so prevalent where it's in the city. It's like, You know, you just never know who it is. It might be a nigga that you've been cool with for years. All of a sudden you find out, but this nigga gay as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? No, I can't hang with your ass after that, but you know, it is what it is. I also feel like people don't really get the real representation of Atlanta until they actually meet an Atlanta person like myself that can really, like, you know, give them the breakdown to get them the history of this shit. You know, like I said initially, Freaknik started off as a picnic, you know what I mean? And it gradually turned into what it was, you know, like where it was just sex-filled and sex-driven or whatever you want to say. Like, I will say that I did see some things during Freaknik that definitely turned me off from Freaknik. Like, I remember one time we was on Counter Road. We was in the parking lot of South DeKalb Mall, right where Macy's is. It used to be called Rich's. Anybody that knows that, you know, they would definitely be either they from here or they've been here a long time. Macy's used to be called Rich's. You know what I mean? So this was back when it was Rich's. But we went in the parking lot, and this girl, like, she had on the shortest skirt you probably ever would imagine. Now, my thought process, the parking lot was full. The mall was full on the inside. Parking lot was full. But this girl still could have walked around this crowd. This girl with this little bitty skirt on, like right above the pussy, you know what I mean? She walked her little ass through a crowd of guys. And there had to be like 15 guys, and she walked through this crowd. By the time that girl got on the other side of that crowd, she was naked. And I mean, she was screaming, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, you know, during that time I was young. I didn't laugh at her, and I knew it was wrong, but I didn't do anything to help either, you know what I mean? So that's, you know, I guess that's fucked up on my part, that we should have helped, but there was 15 of them and 2 or 3 of us. We'd have got our ass whooped for being the good Samaritan. You know what I mean? When, again, I'm still at 40 years old, 25 years later, I'm like, why did she just walk around this crowd? Like, I literally remember her distinctly walking through this motherfucking crowd, and when she got to the other side of the crowd, it was like a swarm of ants. You know what I'm saying? It was like she walking through the crowd, the guys just, when that shit opened back up, she was butt naked. She was butt naked and she was screaming. I don't even think that bitch had on no shoes no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was, you know, and the police ran over there and they was asking like, what happened? You know, I'm like, shit, I don't know, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened, you know. But that's how Freaknik used to be, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it was amazing. Like, the amount of people that would be here. Like, the Super Bowl was just here. Nigga, the Super Bowl ain't got shit on what Freaknik was. Now, I'm gonna tell you one event. I don't remember what year that was. It might have been like 96 or 97. I think one event that I'm gonna say, it definitely didn't pack the city the way Freaknik would, but it packed us out a little bit. The All-Star game. When the All-Star game came back here in the 90s, the city was lit. You know what I mean? I do feel as though the city would have been a little bit more crowded last year for the Super Bowl. Well, this year, I'm sorry, if the Saints had been here. If the Saints had won that game, which I'm still happy about that shit. I'm glad they lost. That was a fantastic call by the referees. Never seen that's some of the best officiating I've ever seen in life. To my Saints fans. Y'all see the hat, you know what I mean? I always gonna have that on. But if the Saints had been in the Super Bowl, yeah, I think that would have been like a Freaknik. It definitely would have been like a Freaknik. Or if a team like the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins or some shit, if they had been in it, you know. But nothing has ever rocked the city like Freaknik did. Nothing has ever done that. And even down to the women here, not just the men. I think the women who lived during that era, they have a different mindset as far as sex, you know. They're a little bit more down for, you know, some freaky shit. You know what I mean? But in a nutshell, you know, I think that Freaknik definitely opened up our city to some of the nastiness that has made it what is the mystique of what it is today. But at the end of the day, people still coming. People still moving here, regardless of what they hear, regardless of what they hear about the nasty side of the dirty side of Atlanta or the AIDS epidemic or whatever. People are still moving here every week. It's a new motherfucker coming here with $1 and a dream. You know what I mean? So in closing, I just want to say that, yeah, you know, that's a mild story of Freaknik. You know, I don't really I'm not computer savvy like that. I don't have be able to put all the excerpts in there and the pictures and all that old shit. I'm still trying to learn all that kind of stuff, and I'm doing this on my phone, you know. But that's just what I was feeling today. So y'all can, you know, go in the comment section, say whatever you got to say. If you're disrespectful, I'm gonna block you. That's just what we doing, you know. If you want to email me, you got any video topics or something like that you might want to hear my take on, which I still get emails sometimes, people saying, you know, hey man, I want you to do a video about this, like what's your opinion of this, you know. I just give a raw and uncut opinion. I say whatever I'm gonna say, and I do it organically. I do it as the spirit move me. I just come on out with it. My name is Mr. Law 217. I'm not on any other social media sites. I'm not on Instagram no more. I'm not on Facebook no more. I got a Snapchat, but I'm very seldom on that shit. So pretty much this is the only social media that I even have at this point. So if you want to hit me up, you can email me at mr.law217@gmail.com. I'm growing a beard, y'all, so I look a little scruffy. Trying to goddamn figure this thing out if I want to keep it or not. So that's why I'm looking like this. But like I say, I was in the crib and I said, you know what? Shit, I want to do this video right now. But anyway, y'all get at me. Y'all be good.